matchup as the Flames play host to the Montreal Canadiens, who begin a Canadian swing that will take them from here to Edmonton to Vancouver and then on to Winnipeg to wrap it up. For the Calgary Flames, points in each of their first 3 games. They haven't opened a season with points in 4 straight since the franchise moved here to Calgary back in 1980. A great start for the Flames. TJ Gagliardi standing by with our Ryan Rashad.
Jay, one of the terms that's been used about your hockey club early this season is work ethic. Where is that coming from specifically?
Well, it starts from our leaders, and it started at camp, and we're working it all the way through, and we got to do it 82 games this year.
TJ, on a personal note, you're a Calgary boy. You watch games here as a kid. What does it mean to you to see this rink put back together, considering everything that the city and this rink has been through?
Yeah, it's a testament to the community and the city, and we want to play hard for them every night and give them something to be proud of.
Thanks, TJ.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
Sure.
Thank you, Ryan. As the Montreal Canadiens take to the ice, they do so with a large core of support, as they often receive when they come to Western Canada. And there are lots of people in red, white, and blue, not red and black, sitting in the lower bowl here for Montreal for a long time. They used to play the Flames over the holidays 7 times since 1991. This matchup happened on New Year's Eve. But now it'll be early in the season, and Montreal looking for its first win here in Calgary since 2002. They've lost 6 straight games here to the Calgary Flames. Set now for the national anthems and Heather Luzgano.
Now please rise, remove your hats, and join the longtime singing voice of your Calgary Flames tonight, Heather Luzgano, accompanied by members of the Calgary Police Service in the singing of our Canadian national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Heather Luzgano, and welcome back, hockey fans, to the
And so we're set for hockey on this Wednesday night as the Montreal Canadiens, who have played just twice to get things going, will face off against the Calgary Flames, who are an early story in terms of exceeding expectations. Ray Ferraro, and one of the emerging stories is a guy who's not that new to the Flames, but Michael Backlund has emerged in the early going.
And they're looking for Michael Backlund, the 22-year-old, to take a step this year. That he's played 173 of the 203 games that the Flames centermen have up the middle. With Matt Stajan out of the lineup, he's by far their most experienced center. He's getting a gift opportunity here to play top 6 minutes. He played 21 against the Vancouver Canucks the other night. He had a goal, and they look for Backlund to move from prospect to top 6 forward to top 2 centerman this year. He's getting a great opportunity right now.
Joe Colborne, number 8, faces off for Calgary, acquired from Toronto for a 4th-round pick at the start of the season. Ryan White out there for Montreal, so the 2 4th lines start against each other. The play's offside at the Calgary line.
So when Montreal starts, Ryan White and Travis Mullen and Rene Bourque with Brandon Truss sitting close by, Brian McGrattan and Colborne get on the ice with Lance Bowman, so they'll match their heavies against each other as each team tries to get back in it. You mentioned, Gord, just the 3rd game of the year for Montreal.
There's Lance Bum with it, slides by him. PK Subban with a shot that hit Rennie Bourque, and the Flames are away quickly. Boma up for Colburn, back to Boma with a drive, and that goes off the stick, up and out of play. Tonight's game plan is brought to you by Tim Hortons, Canada's favorite coffee.
With the Canadians not playing very frequently over the first part of the season, Michel Therrien will use short, quick shifts early in the game to get their Canadians up on their toes and attack a Calgary team that's kicked away some leads over their first 3 games. Bob Hartley's crew was in charge of the Vancouver game when they started to turn the puck over. Some costly turnovers in the third period that eventually cost them a point. They'll want to manage the puck better at each blue line.
Calgary's led in all 3 of its games, blew a 3-goal lead against Washington, losing in a shootout, then lost to Vancouver in overtime the other night.
Hartley set a pretty demanding tone for a team that doesn't have high expectations this year. He went right down the bench to Lance Boma, who didn't get to his boards early on. A puck that was kept in at the blue line. Says, you got to be there. He's right on top of these guys as he's trying to cut the margin for error for them.
Here's Backlund along with Hoodler and TJ Gagliardi. And you heard Gagliardi talking to our Ryan Rishaug before the game. Gagliardi took a bad penalty in that opener against Washington for roughing the goaltender. Apologized to teammates that scored a big goal the next night.
And Gagliardi, who is not a real experienced player, but on this team has more experience than a lot of the forwards, is a guy that has to lead by example. And the penalty he took, Gordon, Washington, was undisciplined, and it, in a sense, was a selfish type of penalty that helped cost them that third period lead.
Back at the line, Mark Giordano with a shot that goes off a leg and wide. Curtis Glencross now to Street. Rafael Diaz has lost his stick. And TJ Brody with a shot that goes wide. Here's Brian Giunta on it. Mechanics off the wall but not out. Giordano plays it right back in deep. Opening moments of the first period, Brody being bumped there by Prust. And Andrei Markov finds Thomas Plekanec. He's away with Giunta, but Giunta peels off on a change. So Plekanec sends it down on Joey McDonald. Now turned over by Giordano. But Galchenyuk couldn't keep it in. To the line of Gallagher, Galchenyuk, and Ehlers on the ice for Montreal. He has scored 5 of the team's 7 goals so far this year. Street got bumped off the puck along the wall. Here's Gallagher with it. Big week for Brendan Gallagher. He'll play his first game in his hometown of Vancouver this weekend.
He'll be opening the wallet for some tickets there.
They don't give them away anymore, do they?
No, they sure don't.
And Gallagher winds his way in. It's bumped there by Dennis Wideman. Now Gallagher back on it. Crisscrossing with Eller. And Gallagher ridden off the puck by Wideman. As Sven Berchi picks it up. His long pass for Monahan missed. What a start for Sean Monahan. In his first week in the league, his first goal, his first point, his first game, his first stitches.
Lots to like about Sean Monahan, the way that as an 18-year-old he plays the game with such responsibility. There'll be a decision to be made relatively shortly here in Calgary whether Monahan stays past the 9 games that he's allotted, whether they burn a year on his contract or not. Here's his first National Hockey League goal. He goes to the front of the net. He pushes Wisniewski back to the crease and deposits it in the net behind Bobrovsky. And then real nice patience here against Vancouver on Sunday where he beats Eddie Lack on the 2-on-1. A real mature game for a very young player.
Draw one back to the point. There's Brody with a drive, and Price steered that away. Any concern? He was -3 in that game, Ray.
No, not for me. I mean, I believe if you're 18 years old and you're playing in the NHL and you're playing against guys like Henrik Sedin as he was for much of that Vancouver game, you're going to get burned once in a while. And the evaluation for Sean Monahan can't be about one night. You know, he has a great night in Columbus. You can't say he's ready to play in the NHL. He has a bad night or iffy night against Vancouver. You can't say he doesn't belong in the NHL. You got to look at it for a month, which is the 9 games, and make your evaluation there. I think they're going to be under pressure to keep him, Gord, but I think with almost every 18-year-old, to send them back buys you another year on the end of that entry level and into their restricted free agent contracts. If they're a more mature player then, I'd rather have them then.
And his Ottawa 67s are off to a decent start in the OHL. They're 4-4 without him. Now a chance in front. Gagliardi on the turnover. It's cleaned up though by Josh Georges. And moved ahead by Plekanec to Rennie Bourque. Bourque spent 3 years here in Calgary. Had back-to-back 27-goal years with the Flames.
Traded for Mike Camilleri and Kerry Ramo, who is the backup tonight for the Flames.
Somewhat surprisingly, given that Ramo played an opening night, Berchi comes in and the play's offside at the Montreal line.
Well, Joey McDonald makes his third straight start in the Calgary goal, and Bob Hartley said it was just a gut feel that McDonald played well in Columbus. He deserved a second start against Vancouver, and among the saves he made was just a remarkable diving stop on Chris Higgins, and so he gets a third straight start. And Ramo will get the net back. He was okay in Washington. He didn't really have any fantastic saves. He didn't have any goals that you looked at and went, oh, that was a crushing goal against. He'll get another chance, and then he's got to try and grab the net and keep it.
There's Ryan White with a long shot, and McDonald will hang on to that. Calgary's at New Jersey here on Friday. In fact, the Devils are in town now. Rare that you have 3 NHL teams in a city at the same time. And then the Flames hit the road for a western swing into Anaheim, San Jose, LA, Phoenix, and Dallas. Call it a southwestern swing.
Marty Jelena talking to Bob Hartley there. He comes right down the bench, Jelena does, to talk to Joe Colborne. Colborne playing in his third game for the Flames, still trying to learn the system, get his feet underneath him. And he hasn't played a whole lot in Calgary here. He's got to make a mark because he's going to get a good opportunity somewhere down the line here. But he's got to push for those minutes.
Street battle there with Markov, and Eller picks up the loose puck. He finds Galchenyuk, and now Gallagher flips it down to the Calgary zone, gets TJ Brodie to turn, in comes Gallagher, backhand shot, and McDonald makes the save on that quick dash by Brendan Gallagher. And back the other way come the Flames. Giordano leads the rush, 4 wide, sends it back in front street, and it hit his skate, and now Galchenyuk gets it right back. Chipped up center ice, and Gallagher slides it down to the Calgary zone and hits off on the change. 3-1 the shots on goal in favor of Montreal. Berchi works his way in, plays that rink wide, chance back in front. Hudler couldn't tap it home on the feed from Backlund. And back the other way comes David Desharnais, has that swatted away by Chris Russell. This line so key for Montreal. Desharnais, Briere, and Pacioretty. Pacioretty back in the Montreal lineup. After missing the last 2 with injury, there's Berchi being sprung, but the play's offside. And the faceoff will come back out to center ice.
Much has been made of this young Montreal line. Look at the chemistry and awareness on the ice as Galchenyuk goes low to support the puck, and then Gallagher comes all the way across the ice to receive the puck. He drives wide on Brodie, and look at him get his shoulder down, driving towards the net, and he forces McDonald into the backhand stop. But Galchenyuk, who's a natural centerman, comes low on the breakout. It's an easy pass for the defenseman. It's a 5-footer. And then Gallagher comes all the way across the ice to support the puck. And in 2 quick, short passes, the Canadians are out of the zone.
If you call Desharnais, Pacioretty, and Briere the third line, no one in Montreal's third or fourth line has scored a goal yet. It's a small sample to be sure, but
it'll be interesting to see. You know, Desharnais had a real struggle last year for the Canadians, never really found his footing and had the type of impact here that he had a couple of years ago. Daniel Briere has become more effective on the power play than he has at 5-on-5. They hope more ice time and a change of venue here in Montreal will help spark him. And then Pacioretty is, you know, right on the cusp of being a developing power forward into one that teams have to game plan against. And you know, he hurt his wrist in the opener against Toronto, didn't play in game 2. So that line really hasn't had much time together.
Backlund for Hudler, trying to backhand that in front. And PK Subban plays it high off the glass, trying to find Briere, who's streaking away. And back the other way comes Sven Berchi. Plays it down to the Montreal zone. Price for Josh Georges. Pacioretty bumped by Backlund, flips the puck up to center ice. Michael Backlund with Montreal changing to Yuri Hudler. And Hudler winds his way into the Montreal zone, taps it down to Berchi. Sends it back in front, he missed Backlund. And here's Chris Butler with it. Down to Backlund, in for Berchi. Being harassed there by Subban. The puck loose at the side of the goal for Markov to Price. Brandon Price looked in for Mooney, and Joe Colborne collide at the Calgary line. And Shane O'Brien back to pick it up. O'Brien back with it. Down to Butler. And both teams will change with 6.5 gone. In the opening period, Colborne works his way in. Joe Colborne posts up, waiting for help to arrive. Drops it back, wide with a backhand pass for Russell. Also trying to center it, goes to the other side to Colbert. Big throw for Colbert to play here in Calgary where he grew up. Now back at the line, Gagliardi was trying to find Wideman. The pass was off the leg and back down the ice. Jones through the middle for Street. That pass just missed. And now Jones back on it. Big collision in the corner as he and Jared Tenorti come together. At the line, held by Brody. Across he goes to Giordano. Winds and fires. That's off a skating wide. Glencross steps up. And Brody plays it back in deep to him. Looks back to Jones. Peels off a check. And plays it across for Street. Now Gallagher intercepts. And looks ahead for Galchenyuk. Mark Giordano goes back to pick it up. Watched by Plekanec, and here's Brody with it. Up ahead to Hudler. Rink wide he goes to Backlund. Michael Backlund in, goes off the stick rather of Giunta, and Subban just missed by Glencross. Wideman shoots, that deflects just wide. Here's Subban with it. Taps it across to Georges. Through the middle for Plekanec, and Rene Bourque was stopped in his tracks by Wideman.
Wideman's thrown that hit several times this year already.
Now Markov back with a long shot, kicked out by McDonald. Diaz on the other side, fans on the shot. Plays it back in the corner. Backlund intercepts, and he finds Hudler. Long time between whistles here in this period as Gagliardi comes in on Diaz. TJ Gagliardi with it now. Working down low on Markov. Fields the puck and plays it down for Butler. Chris Butler centers it. That missed two sticks, Monahan and Hudler. And back come the Canadians the other way. It's Pacioretty along with Plekanec. Max Pacioretty between the legs, moves in front, and Gagliardi takes that away from him. I was watching Thomas Hertl on YouTube today.
Wasn't that something? Unbelievable goal.
Always nice when your fourth goal is the prettiest one. Offside at the Calgary line. 11:21 to go here in the opening period. Bodies flying in Calgary on Scotia.
A couple catastrophic turnovers against the Canucks. Look how efficiently they've moved the puck. A couple of long passes from their defense to their wingers. That led to a scoring chance from Russell. Here's Chris Butler, one quick, efficient pass to Brian McGrattan, and here's Russell again. On the change, he holds the puck. The Canadians open the seam up. One pass and they're out of the zone. Real nice puck work by the Flames as they've spent virtually no time in their zone yet in this first period.
Also a smooth skater from Caroline, Alberta, about an hour and 20 minutes from here, which produced one of the smoothest skaters of all time, world champion Kurt Browning. Good thing he couldn't score. Travis Mullen shoots and puts that wide. You got about 8 zillion breakaways in minor hockey. Couldn't put many in the net. In comes Monahan with it. Little backhand pass to Stempniak, shot, rebound, score! Sean Monahan again, and the Flames have the lead. Oh, goodness.
Sven Barchi took an absolute roasting from Brian Burke earlier in this before the start of the season. His play on the boards where he gets body on body allows the puck to come outside the zone. That opens up this 2-on-1. Stempniak, who's had a real nice start to the year on the right side of Sean Monahan. They crisscross. Stempniak's shot is stopped by Price, and there's the rookie. 3 games in a row, and Sean Monahan has given the Flames a 1-0 lead.
And now, shot by Gagliardi goes wide. That's points in 4 games to start his career. Ray, the last Calgary Flame to open his career with points in 4 games was Sergei Makarov back in 1988. Here's Gagliardi now peeling back in the corner.
Well, whether we think he's an NHLer or the evaluation is that whether he is or isn't, Sean Monahan is playing like one. What a fabulous start to the 18-year-old's career. There's just a simplicity to his game, Gord, that I really like. He doesn't try to do anything too fancy. He doesn't hang on to the puck too well. He moves it. He gets his feet moving. He gets to the open part of the ice.
In come the Canadians as Lars Eller moves in. The puck bounced away from him. And scooped up by Giordano. Rink wide, he goes for Jones, busting in with Street. In comes David Jones, and Gallagher poked that away. At the line, Giordano holds it. Jones and Shane O'Brien came over from Colorado in the deal and sent Alex Tanguay and Corey Sarich back the other way.
Jones has had a real nice start for the Flames as well. 4 points in the start of the year for him. Health is going to be a key for him.
There's Josh George ripping that just wide. Now Briere hacks it back in. McDonald makes a leading save and kicks that to the sideboards. Street battles there with Briere. As George is the only Montreal defenseman under contract for next year, plays it down the ice. PK Subban's a restricted free agent, and the rest of the regulars, barring Jared Norty, are unrestricted. Includes Andre Markov, Alexei Emelin, and Rafael Diaz. Now Norty fires it down to the Calgary zone as Butler's back for it. Drops is 5-3 Montreal. Calgary leading 1-0 on Sean Monahan's third goal of the year in his fourth NHL game.
So we'll get a look again at Monahan's goal. And it starts way back in the Calgary zone, where this play by Barchi, where he gets on the body with Subban and allows the puck to come to center. Nice body contact by Stempniak, and the puck is turned over. Poor neutral zone play by Montreal as they get standing around, but a nifty little pass from Monahan, and then he stops in front of the goal line where he's got a chance at the rebound, and Stempniak's shot is deposited into the empty cage.
Now Monahan out for the defensive zone face-off against Buchanan and wins it. Now Berchi battling for it as the puck is high in the air, gloved ahead, but not out by Butler. Back goes to Buchanan with a long shot, and that goes off the leg of Berchi. And Stempniak bangs it off the glass, but up and out of play. 8:25 to go in the opening period, and the Sean Monahan story gets bigger and bigger in Calgary. The buttons, here's Ryan Rishaug with more.
Yeah, Gord, one of those buttons is working hard even on the morning of a game day. One of the changes Hartley made from last year, no more optional morning skates. This is what went down at about 9 o'clock this morning. About a 45-minute skate, pushed the players pretty hard. He's also been known to introduce new drills even on game days. Last year, he had optional morning skates, hated the results that it got. He felt he had a more veteran team last year and that he could do it, said it was a big mistake. So it's no more optionals on game days for this younger Calgary team, Gordon.
6 o'clock local start, so that morning skate was at 9:30.
And it says he got some new drills when the terrible flooding went through Calgary and went, buried the bottom half of this building. All of course, what was underneath the building was lost, including all of Bob Hartley's coaching manuals. So coaches keep notes and they write drills and they see new drills and they keep ongoing logs, and years of stuff was just washed away.
When Terry Crisp coached here, Ray, he had boxes and boxes of notes that he kept during the game. He always wrote notes during the game, and Flames management asked him what he did with them. He said, well, I look at them all the time. He said, really? We hid them 3 months ago. Markov shoots that goes high and wide. Now Prust with it. Brody kicking away at it as well as Ryan White picks it up. Back to Markov with a shot. McDonald gets a piece of that and falls. The puck loose behind the Calgary goal. And now fired back in by Desharnais. Just say that, Ray, you would not have been a big fan of the brisk morning skate.
When I finally got to the point that they were optional if I wanted to take them, I thought they were fantastic. I never wanted to go on the ice in the morning once I got older. When I was younger, I wanted to. I felt like I needed it. When I got older, I wanted the rest.
Here's Gallagher spinning back, and Galchenyuk tries to center for Eller. That pass intercepted by Colbert. Now loose it, but Gallagher a backhand shot, and McDonald falls on that.
There Gallagher's nose to nose with an old Vancouver Giant teammate, Lance Boma. Much of Gallagher's shifts end up like this. Where there's a whole pile of players in the middle, but smallest guy on the ice, he stays on the play, and the puck always seems to find him. One of the reasons is that he's always hanging around 15 feet from the net. The puck gets turned over by Colburn here, and he's got to be harder on that puck. And there it comes right to Gallagher, and here's the much bigger Boma trying to shove him out of the way. He's always had this knack for being around the front of the net, for having the puck come to him when he was in junior, even as he was a youngster growing up in the Vancouver area. He's always been able to score from in tight.
Georgia with a shot that shattered the stick of Gagliardi on the way down, and then Desharnais with it. Battling with O'Brien, and O'Brien finds Hudler. Yuri Hudler backhands that down the ice. It will trickle down to Carey Price. Georges for Briere. And Daniel Briere drops that back as Francis Bouillon brings it ahead. Bouillon finds Pacioretty, sends it back in front. The pass knocked away by Chris Butler. And now Butler off the glass over the head of Desharnais and up to center ice.
Pacioretty would probably be better served there, Gord, just to fire that puck at the net instead of trying to feather one through to Briere. Briere will get to the rebound. Pacioretty's got a good shot, and that's probably a nice time to use it.
And Stempniak's shooting goes off a stick, up and out of play. The NHL on TSN is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Fall day here in southern Alberta. And the Calgary Flames have thus far exceeded some expectations, as McDonald had to try to glove that as icing was waved off, but Canis goes back to Markov, and the puck all the way back down to the Montreal zone. I mentioned Calgary has beaten Montreal 6 straight times here. That includes an outdoor game at McMahon Stadium a couple of years ago. Now Weidman bumping there with Bourque, and Rene Bourque picks up the loose puck. Lays it down for Gionta. And he goes to Tenorti trying to keep it alive. Berchi stepped into him. And Russell with a rolling puck on his backhand, being harassed there by Bourque. Stempniak moved it out. And Plekanec in front of the Calgary bench lost the puck to Stempniak. Ahead to Berchi. And at the line, Berchi has to regroup and now fire it back down to the Montreal zone. Long lead pass to Gionta as both teams are changing. And here's David Jones with it. 5.5 to go in the opening period. Calgary leading Montreal 1-0 on the goal by Sean Monahan. And now has goals in 3 straight for the Flames. Gallagher back the other way. Fires, save made by McDonald. Loose puck in front, and once again Gallagher going for the rebound draws the attention of the Calgary Flames. Galchenyuk in there as well, as Calgary once again sees lots of number 11 in the crease. 5:16 to go in the opening period. Shots are 7-3 Montreal. Flames lead 1-0. Approach to trying to keep Chicago fans out of the building. If you tried to buy tickets online, you could only buy them from St. Louis area zip codes. Lots of Montreal fans here tonight, as always, when the Canadians come to Western Canada. Shot by Gallagher goes off the leg and wide.
I guess that's fine if you've got enough people in your zip codes to buy the tickets.
Was a time not so long ago when St. Louis would take ticket holders from Mars if they could. So the Flames, we mentioned, have points in each of their first 3 games, and they have surprised some people. How about 4 goals in each of the first 3 games? They only scored 4 goals in 3 straight games once all of last season.
I really thought the 2 areas they would struggle in would be to produce offense and keeping the puck out of the net. Well, they haven't kept it out of their net very well yet, but their offense has wallpapered some of their mistakes. And I don't know if that's a long-term success for them, but they've sure been aggressive out of the gate, and as a result, they've found a way to score some goals.
Here's Briere on it. Under 15 minutes of ice time for Briere in that game against Philadelphia on Saturday. Drops it back to Pacioretty, flips it back in front. The pass just missed Desharnais. And O'Brien on it for Hudler. Along with Gagliardi and Butler jumping up. And Hudler has got his stick stuck in Pacioretty's equipment. The play's offside at the Montreal line. Pacioretty had 2 sticks for about 5 seconds.
Gord, I mentioned a few moments ago that Pacioretty had Briere on a 2-on-1 or a 2-on-2, and he probably should have shot the puck. Pacioretty missed the last game with a wrist injury, suffered against Toronto. There was his last chance, and he miscues this as this goes wide of the net. It's perhaps an attempted pass halfway to Desharnais, but not exactly 100% is Pacioretty, as Montreal's going to get the first power play of tonight's game.
And they're checking Ryan White to see if he's cut. And it'll be Lance Boma who goes off.
Calgary penalty number 17, 2 minutes high sticking.
Kyle Raymond with the call.
Right off the draw, you're going to see Boma as the puck goes forward. Boma's going to try and tie up White and then get to the forecheck, and the stick comes up. A careless penalty for Lance Bowman. Montreal's power play will go to the game's first opportunity, and it's the young line that didn't get much power play time last year. They'll start on it.
And they win the draw back to Subban along with Markov. It's Eller, Galchenyuk, and Gallagher up front. Markov tees it up. That shot blocked by Street. Eller looks down to Galchenyuk. Montreal in the early going 2 for 13 on the power play. Bourque and Gallagher have their goals on the man advantage. Calgary's allowed 3 goals on 7 opposition attempts so far on the penalty kill. That pass knocked out of midair by Gagliardi, and Gallagher takes it right back. Back to Subban with some time to Galchenyuk. Lots of traffic in front. Subban fires that shot, blocked and fired down the ice by Backlund. 3.5 to go in the opening period. Montreal, the game's first power play, as Subban steps ahead. Now it's Plekanec along with Gionta and Bourque. Gionta sends it back in front. Save made by McDonald. And the rebound fired down the ice by Butler. Diaz to Plekanec. Winds his way across the line, drops that off for Bouillon. He was poke checked neatly. And a chance now for the Flames shorthanded as Glencross sends it in to David Jones. His shot blocked by Diaz. And Bouillon back with it. Jones got a stick on that. And Giordano, with one hand of the stick, swept that away. 25 seconds to go on the Montreal power play. Diaz for Briere. Up for Desharnais. Across to Bouillon. Back to Diaz. Diaz shoots. It's off a leg and wide. Now Weidman on it. Trying to poke that away. And back in the corner goes to Giordano. Ahead for Stempniak. And a race for the puck, a battle for it. Street gets that to the line and out. One shot on goal for Montreal on that power play. Bouillon ahead to Georges. Dancing in with Pacioretty. Long shot saved by McDonald. Rebound loose in front. Gallagher with a chance. It trickles over the crossbar. McDonald still down. Pacioretty shoots, and McDonald from his knees makes that save. Now Tenorti on it. Spins away from Monahan. Back to Briere. His long shot knocked away by Brody. Kept alive by Tenorti. Sends that to the front of the goal. Pacioretty battling for it. Here's Desharnais on it. Good pressure now by Montreal. Desharnais has it bounce off his stick. And Hudler's away for Calgary. Head to Berchi. His pass goes off the skate of Pacioretty. Now Hudler across the line. Jiri Hudler. Plays that down low. Georges on it. Now Prost being bumped there by Berchi. And Tenorti hammered down by Hudler. Monahan sends it back in front. They score! Shed Berchi!
Just zero awareness by Montreal of where the Flames are in the offensive zone. The Canadians have full possession of the puck as it's going to come back to Josh Georges. When it comes to him here, he just reverses it to Tenorti. Tenorti's got no idea that Hudler's there, and Monahan, a beautiful heads-up play to Sven Berchi. Berchi had come off the sideboards, gets to the front of the net, and he's got a tap in across the front of the net. We spent a lot of time talking in the pre-game show about Eller, Galchenyuk, and Gallagher. Berchi and Monahan, 2 real young players, team up with Jiri Hudler, and they've had a nice start here for the Flames.
21-year-old Sven Berchi with the goal. And Monahan has a goal and assist here in the first period. Weidman steps away from Moen. White steps into him, but David Jones has the puck. And Glencross drops it off to Russell. Lines that by Subban. Final minute now, the opening period. And for the 4th consecutive game, Calgary has the lead as Moen sends it back in front. What a save by McDonald on the deflection by White. sent all the way down to the Montreal zone. Icing called against Calgary. Center ice, Preston Giordano into it.
Another nice stop for Joey McDonald. He's been sharp here in the first period, faced 12 shots and kicked them all aside. They're a real nice play from Moen to White. White goes to the front of the net and McDonald flashes the left leg out. Been a bit of a journeyman goaltender. Had some back issues in Detroit where Detroit let him go and the Red Wings ended up signing Jonas Gustafsson, who's not been healthy since they have had him in the Motor City. But McDonald bounced around a little bit, played in Grand Rapids of the American League, and then came here late last year and has worked his way as the most veteran of Calgary's 3 goaltenders. The other being Red O'Bara in the American Hockey League.
Was claimed on waivers by Calgary, Ray, and probably the biggest reason he's stuck here through training camp is didn't want to lose him on waivers to another team. They thought for sure if they put him on, someone would claim him.
And now he's played 3 straight games.
Now back with a steal, a backhand shot on Price, and Carey Price makes the save on Michael Backlund.
Good effort by Backlund, takes a turnover and gets to the scoring zone with the backhand. Price swallows it up. Hasn't had much chance on either of the 2 goals. He stopped Stempniak's initial shot that Monahan put in the net, and then Monahan's pass right across the goal to Berchi for the tap-in. Montreal very lax when they've been in their zone. That while they have the majority of the shots, 12 of the 17, the most dangerous of them have come from the Flames, and as a result, the Flames have done a real nice job here in the first period. Even though being outshot, I've liked their period.
Now Bork fires it down. McDonald along the wall. Buchanan picks it up, sends it back in front. David Jones got a stick on that. And now Weidman back forward for Calgary. At the line, held by Georges. His shot goes off Jones's stick. Final seconds of the period. And back goes to Georges. Long shot off the leg. And time expires. Montreal outshoots Calgary 12-5, but 2 of the 5 go into the Flames in a 2-0 after 20 minutes. Coming up, our first intermission with James Duthie and the panel.
And he's doing everything he can to stay here. He is a two-way player, a 200-foot player. On the penalty kill, he gets a real good block. Watch him stay in the play to clear the puck down the ice. An undrafted free agent, Street, is strong on his feet, a real good skater, and he's done everything that he can to impress the Flames management. He's gotten a break here with Matt Stajan out of the lineup. There's a spot open in the middle of the ice, and Street has taken advantage of it. With all the players they ran through camp and talked about many different players, maybe a little bit under the radar has been Ben Street, and he's really taken advantage of his opportunity. He doesn't want to be a part-time guy. He wants to be an NHL guy, and he's done a real nice job for the Flames early in this season.
4-year man in the University of Wisconsin, Ray, 2 years ago, 27 goals for Wilkes-Barre, Pittsburgh's American League Farm Club.
And not a whole lot of room in Pittsburgh up the middle of the ice, is there?
No.
And back when he was there, Stahl was there as well, of course, along with Crosby and Malkin. So you move around, you bounce around, you bide your time, and you hope somebody notices. And for Ben Street, he got a late call up into Calgary last year, where he played most of the year in Abbotsford, and he's taken a spot of an opening here and run through the door.
Ray, you see the American League a lot because your son plays in it. How many Ben Streets are there in that league, just needing the right chance?
Oh, there's plenty, more than you would think. Some of them get frozen out like Street did in Pittsburgh because there's just no room for them. Some of them just need to find the right coach and the right opportunity for themselves.
Loose puck in front that bounced down on McDonald. And Backlund back with it for Calgary. Michael Backlund looking for Gagliardi. That's broken up by Gionta. He finds Buchanan. And Joey McDonald back for it. 33-year-old from Pictou, Nova Scotia. In comes Chris Russell with a shot that goes off the leg of Diaz and wide, right back to Russell. Leaves it down for Street. Russell heading back to the defense position, had the puck right behind him, and now Briere chips that down to the Calgary zone. It's played right back out. The pass misses Briere as O'Brien goes back, and icing called, a quiet whistle. O'Brien didn't hear it.
No, that puck was deflected in the middle of the ice. And as we get a look at Joey McDonald's first period, where he kicked aside all 13 shots, some of them through traffic. He's always been a battler, an old school type goaltender. There's not much form to him sometimes, but he's athletic, he's quick, and he was terrific in that first period. He's another guy here that's had an opportunity to play with a Flames team that's trying to put the pieces back together. And he's been waiting for an opportunity to play a lot of games in a row too, and right now he's getting that chance.
Now Stempniak got it, trying to center that puck for Sven Berchi. That was broken up, and Briere on it for Montreal. For Desharnais with Pacioretty. In comes David Desharnais. Into the middle, sends it back in front for Pacioretty. Shane O'Brien broke it up. Lost the puck to Briere, got a chance. And now Desharnais with a shot that's blocked by O'Brien. The puck's under him. And Desharnais gave a little poke there. O'Brien didn't like that much.
As the Desharnais line gets into the front of the net, Desharnais should probably shoot that first one, but O'Brien makes a real nice play to block it. And then he realizes the turnover's been made and quickly jumps out to close the shooting lane down as he smothers that one-time attempt from Desharnais.
14-6, the shots on goal in favor of Montreal. And now they'll put out Eller with Gallagher and Galchenyuk. Face-off won by Jones. The puck centered and knocked away by Giordano.
Real good play by Eller. He pushed the puck forward on the draw and beat everybody to it.
Now Brody ahead for Jones to Street. Loose in the corner is Glencross, and now Jones back with it to Brody. Slides it across for Giordano, has time, walks in and shoots. Pad saved by Price. And now Glencross back on it, wins that battle for the puck. Finds Giordano in, shoots, blocks again, rebound, Glencross. Oh, what a save by Price! Came right across to take that away from Glencross. And here's Glencross back with it. Walking in is Giordano, fires that high and wide. Brody holds the line again for Giordano. Good pressure by the Flames here in the early going. Brody fires, and Price makes the save.
Well, there is all kinds of passing lanes side to side in the Montreal zone, and the Flames are finding them, moving the puck east to west across the front of the net, and Carey Price forced to make a fantastic stop. The Giordano shot is deflected in front of the net, and Glencross walks across, and one time this you see Price quickly across to get his body on top of it.
Now O'Brien back with it off the face-off win. The puck leaves the zone, and the play's offside.
Gordon, 3 of the 4 Flames games, they've had multiple goal leads here, and I think for the early part of the season, teams have been caught by surprise a little bit by the Flames. The expectations have been low for Bob Hartley's team, and I don't believe teams have been ready to work against the Flames. If there's one thing that Hartley and his staff have made non-negotiable, it is the way that they work, and they've responded at least early in this season.
McGrattan and Moen having a long conversation before that face-off, and Butler fires it down. It's a small sample to be sure, Ray, but much better than the alternative.
Whether it's small sample or not, it's part of the season. It's the early portion of your year, and you'd rather start reasonably well, or in their case, very, very well, than start to climb up the mountain. It's going to be a long enough year anyway for most teams, as you got to battle and scratch for points. The points go in the bank now. They mean the same as they do in March.
Subban gave Colburn a hard ride, then O'Brien steps into Moen. There's lots of ruffians on the ice right now. And now O'Brien collides there with White. The chance in front for Prust, turned away by McDonald, and Prust back on it. Moen crisscrossing with Prust. Now O'Brien back for it. McGrattan waiting along the wall. Through the middle for Boma.
That's a nice exit pass from O'Brien on the backhand. He finds the middle of the ice, and one quick pass, they're out of the zone.
Now Gagliardi spun around by Giunta, and Markov goes across for Diaz. And Rafael Diaz banks that back down to the Calgary zone. Montreal's last win here, January of 2002. Cork stepped into Russell as the puck goes back down to the Montreal zone. Since then, a tie and 6 losses for the Canadiens in Montreal, or in Calgary rather. Now Hunter takes that rink wide pass and Tenorti steps into him. Back goes Bouillon for it. Lays it across for Cork. Chips it ahead for Plekanec. And Montreal engages the rush as Plekanec chips it in deep, but Gionta peels off on a change. Weidman turns it over to Plekanec. Loose behind the Calgary goal. Now Weidman gathers it back up. Knocked down by Pacioretty for Briere. Daniel Briere spins back in the corner, sends that rink wide for Desharnais. Back in front, McDonald steers that away. And we've got a tripping call coming up. And it's going against the Calgary Flames. It'll be Gagliardi who goes off.
2-minute trip. Gagliardi gets his stick into the feet of Briere. Gagliardi's reaction tells you he thinks Briere took a flop. But the Flames will be shorthanded for the second time this evening. They did a terrific job on that first kill. Really didn't allow much for the Canadians.
It'll be Briere at center, along with Desharnais and Pacioretty up front. Markov and Subban back on the point. And a scramble draw controlled by the Canadians. Back to Markov, across to Subban. Subban to Markov. Back to Subban, the one-time shot. Blocked by the stick of Jones, who quickly checks it. And Brodie away for Calgary. Gently slides that down to the Montreal zone. And Jones' stick was broken. He quickly changes it out. Markov back with it. Looks across for Subban. Behind the back for Markov. Sends it rink wide. Pacioretty's stick explodes on him as he puts it wide. Now Briere back with it. Pacioretty with a new stick. Down to Briere. Markov sneaking in. Briere being harassed there by Giordano. Now Pacioretty on it. Being watched by Backlund. Briere. Or Subban winds and fires. McDonald will save. Rebound. Markov. Oh, the save by McDonald and another one. Andre Markov with 2 5-star chances, and Joey McDonald equal to the task.
2 fabulous stops by McDonald. For the first time tonight, the Canadians show a little ill will other than the Gallagher line. Excellent point shot by Subban. McDonald pokes the rebound away from Desharnais in the front of the net there, but he ends up poking it right on the stick of Markov, who's come in from the point. Markov stops it in the 2-pad stack.
Yes.
You don't see that much anymore, and Joey McDonald makes a remarkable stop. That is a purely effort save by McDonald, much the same, although going the other way on Chris Higgins from Vancouver on Sunday night.
Gallagher back for Subban. Minute to go in this power play. Now Gallagher with it. Works his way in down to Eller. Lars Eller. Back to Galchenyuk. Subban teed up for the one-timer. They go down low instead to Eller. Back to Galchenyuk. Markov down low in front of the net. And now Butler plays it off the leg of Gallagher. Wins the battle for the puck to Eller. Prowsey goes to Markov. Walking in, Andre Markov. Centers it, that goes through the feet of Galchenyuk. Bounces right back to Eller. To Subban. And across to Eller. Down low, Galchenyuk trying to center it, and McDonald will eat that up. And once again, Gallagher takes a bop in the face from T.J. Brodie. Well, MLS on TSN continues tonight with the Vancouver Whitecaps taking on the Seattle Sounders. Live coverage underway at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on TSN 2.
Better power play for the Canadians. They've had a much better sense of time and space. They've moved the puck, been more patient than they were on that first one. Just can't get the puck behind Joey McDonald.
Now Backlund with a chance short-handed in on Diaz. And Diaz takes him down. Now Backlund right back up, giving Diaz all he can handle. Final seconds of the Montreal power play. Gallagher working his way in for Galchenyuk. That's broken up by Jones. Gallagher trying to center it. 3 shots on goal for Montreal on that power play. As Gagliardi steps out. And Giordano on it. For Backlund, rink wide for Jones. The pass too far for him. And no change permitted as icing is the call against Calgary.
So So Thomas Plekanec's line will go out with Gionta and Bourque, and they've got a tired Calgary Flames group at the end of the penalty kill, and they'll have a face-off to the left of Joey McDonald.
And Wideman way late getting back to the face-off circle.
He got lost there for a moment. He just bought 10 seconds, and then Backlund jumps early. They bought another 10.
And the face-off won by Gagliardi for Giordano. And Jones chips that down to the Montreal zone, and this change can start for Calgary.
Real good job by Gagliardi on the draw.
Plekanec gets his own pass right back, steps around Wideman. Now Plekanec's back on him, but Wideman stepped back into him. Monahan back out there for Calgary. And retreating is Georgian with Gagliardi all over him. Now Gagliardi back on it. Battles there with Bourque. And Hudler plays it for Gagliardi. He banked it back, but Brody had moved to the middle of the ice. 19-9, the shots on goal for Montreal. Flames lead 2-0. Just joining us, Sean Monahan's extended his point streak to 4 games. Has a goal and an assist so far tonight. Brandon puts with the backhand shot, bounces in front of McDonald, and he'll hang on to that. 12:16 to go in the second period. Joey McDonald robs Andre Markov twice in tight. Profile brought to you by Scotiabank. Sean Monahan will turn 19 on Saturday, the 6th pick overall in the 2013 draft. Of course, had his first NHL game last week, picked up a point, got his first goal a night later against Columbus. And NHL rules state that a junior age player can spend 9 games in the league before it counts as a season. So Monahan playing game number 4 of the 9, making it harder and harder for the Calgary Flames to send him back to Ottawa of the Ontario Hockey League.
I mentioned in the open the similarities that I see to Ryan O'Reilly. And when O'Reilly made it as an 18-year-old, I thought it was a little bit of a step ahead of him because I thought his skating might be a little bit young. You know, it didn't have any maturity to it. And I think the same way for Monahan, but the more you watch him, I'm like, my God, the kid does just about everything right. He's real simple, real straightforward, and he's been remarkably productive.
In on Diaz now as Sven Verci comes in to help as well. And Stepniak steps into Pacioretty, who goes into the boards in front of the Calgary bench and loses his stick in the process. Markov backboard as Calgary starts to change. Markov, long lead pass goes by everyone. And it's icing against Montreal. So lots of Calgary fans are excited about Sean Monahan's NHL start. How about PGA golfer Graham Gillette, who was terrific at the President's Cup on the weekend. Absolutely loving this Monahan kid was his tweet tonight.
The Saskatchewan native had a fabulous year on the PGA Tour. Big Flames fan. In the FedEx Cup playoffs there, he had the beard going. He looked like he was going through a playoff run. He had just a terrific end of the year.
And so far, Monahan keeping his head about him, as you might expect. Long lead pass for Street, jumping in, and Markov sweeps that away. Puck loose in the corner, knocked back in front. Price steers that away from Street. Jones back on it, spins around Bouillon. And David Jones back with it. Slides it down to Glencross. He plays it down for Street. Back he goes to Russell. Everybody keep away for a moment. Now Prost finally has it for Montreal to Markov. And he goes to White. Drops it off for Moen. Back in front for White. Rolling puck, shoots, and McDonald got just a piece of that. Other way, Chinordi with a shot off the stick of Moen and wide. And Travis Moen back with it. That pass too high for Prost to handle. And here's Wideman with it. Up ahead to Glencross. Midway point of the second period. Calgary leading by a score of 2-0. And a long lead pass in for Yuri Hudler with a shot, and Price the save on him. At the line, kept alive by Giordano with a long shot. That's off a leg and wide. TJ Brody steps up. Brody, nifty move. Drops that puck down for Hudler. Yuri Hudler. Down for Gagliardi. High off the end glass. And Georges steps into him. Brendan Gallagher chipping it by Brody, rides him off the puck. They collide hard in the corner. Now Gagliardi away, chance for a 3-on-2 for Calgary. Rink wide for Giordano. Sends it back in front of bouncing puck, and Carey Price hangs on to that. Carey Price and the Montreal Canadiens down 2-0 here in the second period on Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey. One here, Ray. Michel Therrien was their coach the first time around.
Well, he can't be very happy with what he's seen for most of the night. The Canadiens' awareness of where players are on the ice has been rather dreadful at times. Look at Josh Georges. He's standing up at center ice. He's got no idea that Jiri Hudler is behind him. His partner has to communicate that to Georges if he doesn't know. But the Canadiens have been caught standing around a little bit in their zone. They've opened up some pass lanes, and while the Flames have just 12 shots, there hasn't been any great pressure in the Calgary zone. It's been a lot of one shot and out. And at the other end, the Canadiens just, in my opinion, just have not been very sharp tonight. Not enough fight to their game.
Now Monahan peels back at center ice. Tried to flip that ahead. Bourque got in the way of that. Now Gionta away with Plekanec. Ryan Gionta to Thomas Plekanec. Down he goes to Bourque. Russell steps into him, the much bigger man, and the battle ensues behind the Calgary goal. 4 players down there, now 5 as Monahan comes in, and Monahan picks it out for Weidman. Stempniak back to help out. Goes the other way for it. And Diaz steps up for Montreal. Here's Bourque with it. Russell steps back into him. And Stempniak being watched by Plekanec. Looks for Monahan. His pass was off a skate. Chance now for Bourque. Shoots. He missed short side. Pierre couldn't find it, and Verchi sends it up to center ice.
That's real good work by that Montreal line. They stayed in the play. They stayed on the puck. And as a result, they had some zone time. That's how you start to turn the tide of a 2-0 deficit.
Jones and Georges collide hard. Subban chips it ahead for Pacioretty. His pass up the center ice, intercepted by O'Brien. 8 to go in the second period. And Jones fires it down. PK Subban.
He's had a real quiet evening as well here.
Briere ahead for Pacioretty. In across the line, waiting for a line change to complete the pass for Desharnais. Goes astray. And away comes Glenn Cross with it. Rink wide, he goes for Street. Now Street with a long shot. Price to save, gloves it. And now throws the puck ahead for Tinordi. Briere with it. Looking for a change, spins and fires it down to the Calgary zone. Now a lead pass for Hudler. And Gagliardi with it. Lars Eller bounces that down to the Calgary zone, and back to pick it up is Mark Giordano.
Oh, nice exit by Giordano, right up the middle of the ice to Backlund. Under pressure, he found the open man and an easy out for the Flames.
Now Backlund with it. Michael Backlund sends it back in front. The pass just in behind Hudler. The lead pass for Jiri Hudler goes off his stick to Bouillon. Now deflected in front of the Calgary bench. Here's Eller. Backhands that down to the Calgary zone as both teams will change. Weidman, long lead pass, goes by everyone. And icing waved off. Moen down to Diaz. Across for Markov. Long pass for Crust. Up ahead for White. He'll wrap it around. McDonald couldn't get to it. Travis Moen on it. Fourth line out there for Montreal. And Weidman looks ahead to McGrattan. Ryan McGrattan chips that ahead for Boma. Gets there first against the ice. He tried to center it. Goes off the side of the net. Here's Prust with it. Intercepted by McGrattan with a shot, and Price fights that off. Ryan McGrattan did score 3 times last year. As White plays it ahead for Moen, into the long shift for this group. And O'Brien across to Butler. Lead pass goes to Monahan, gloves that, or Stempniak rather, at the line, gloves it down. And now Monahan in for it. To Verchi. Back for Monahan. Backhands that wide of the goal. Stempniak wins the race to the puck. Subban skates by it for Montreal, gets bottled up, and Georges has to go back and pick it up. Bourque along with Giunta. And Bourque tries to center. Monahan picks it up, flips up to the sideboard. Tenodi steps up for Montreal. And Lee Stempniak up to center right. The hard pass for Berchi along with Monahan. They've got to go off as Berchi swats that back down to the Montreal zone. Bouillon for Briere. That was close to too many men as Briere in the corner centers it. Knocked away by McDonald as Bourque was standing on the doorstep looking for the loose puck. Now Glencross back with Bourque. Brody rather, and Brody taken down in front of the Montreal goal. And there's no penalty. Lead pass to Glencross. In across the line, Curtis Glencross in front of Bouillon. Takes him hard into the sideboards. Penalty coming to Francis Bouillon with 4:33 to go in the second period. The Calgary Flames will go to the power play when Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey returns to Calgary.
Francis Bouillon in the penalty box for boarding as he shoves Glencross from behind. The Calgary power play gets their first chance.
And Weidman unloads it. It's Glencross in front. Price with a pad save and able to hang on.
As Weidman's waiting for an area to shoot the puck, Glencross is directly in front of Price, and he's got nowhere to go when this shot's waist high. Weidman can really heat it up. And you see Glencross, he's in a great spot here. The puck ends up hitting him in the midsection before he can shovel it back at Price.
Not sure it's a great spot when you get hit by it.
No, it really makes you a little less willing to go in there the next time.
Weidman back with it. Drops it back to Hooker with a shot. Missed some of that. And now Brody with it. TJ Brody. Slides it down to Glencross. It's back to Weidman to Brody. Across the top he goes for Hoodler. Brody to Hoodler. One-time shot blocked in front by Markov. Bouncing puck. And Jones back to Hoodler. Back at the line is Brody. And Jones with a chance. That deflects just wide. Back in front to Hooker. Backdoor pass. That was deflected away from Weidman, who would have had a tap in. And now Weidman shoots, scores! Glencross the tip. 3-0 Calgary.
That's that same duo. This time Weidman doesn't hit Glencross with the shot. He really loaded up the first one. This one, it's just a spin and wrister to the front of the net. And Glencross keeps the puck alive here. Nice play by Tenorti to keep the play moving. But Glencross and Jones in front of the net. The wrister from Weidman as he just turns and shovels it back towards the net. Glencross takes the shot wide of the net and tips it back through Carey Price. The Flames' second power play goal of the year. And a 3-0 Calgary lead.
Glencross led the Flames with 15 goals last year. 13 of them scored here.
Flames goal is second of the season. Scored by number 20.
And a long shot of McDonald handled easily. And Gallagher sent flying by Giordano, and that's going to be a penalty to the Flames captain with 3:22 to go in the second. Glencross from Weidman the scoring play at 16:22.
At the end of their previous shift, Giordano and Gallagher were jawing at each other bench to bench. The next time they get on the ice, Giordano ends up taking Gallagher down for a tripping penalty. And if Montreal's ever going to get back in it, they're going to need something from their power play here. It's a power play that should be good. Here's the trip by Giordano as he sticks out his right leg and kicks the feet out from Gallagher. This power play should be good. They had an excellent second one, a rather poor first one, and down 3, they've got to find a way to wedge themselves back into this game.
So the question now for Calgary, can the Flames close the deal with the big lead? Keller wins the draw back to Markov for Subban. Subban to Galchenyuk. Cross ice pass for Markov, which snuck in. He banks it off the inboards to Eller. Now Markov back at the point for Subban. Across to Eller. Down low to Galchenyuk. In for Eller. Lars Eller looks down low. Galchenyuk steps out. Wraparound try. Stopped by McDonald. Now Subban back with it. Across he goes. Markov with a shot that got blocked. He fanned on it partially, and now Subban picks the puck up at center ice. 80 seconds to go in this power play. Here's Eller back with it. Butler steps into him. Weidman collides here with Galchenyuk, and the puck loose to Ben Street. On his backhand with a rolling puck, can't get it out. And now Bowman does. He's swung it up by Markov. Now Markov has that pass go off Street, stays onside. Rink Winey goes for Pacioretty. Back to Subban, and drive scores! PK Subban, power play goal. There's the spark Montreal was looking for.
Oh, run a rocket from Subban. The Flames get a little deep, and they don't have somebody in front of Subban. A clean shot lane to the point, from the point rather. As the puck's going to end up down here on Daniel Briere's stick. Wow. Sorry, Pacioretty with the puck. And he puts it right on the tee. That's a bullet by PK Subban, and the Canadians crawl their way back here. They match the Flames' power play goal.
That's his first of the year. He had 11 last year. Subban played 20 and a half minutes the other night against Philadelphia. And the Montreal fans in attendance making their presence felt as Berchi works in along with Giordano, rink wide, but the play was offside at the Montreal line.
The Calgary bench is up. They can't believe this was whistled offside. Giordano had jumped into the play. This is going to be a clean 2-on-1, but Berchi has put himself offside on the play. His feet go over the line before the puck. You see, Berchi's got to wait for it, and both feet come over the line before the puck is over the line. He doesn't have full control, and the offside is called.
1:45 to go here in the second period. Brody goes back with Bourque. And now Hudler with it for the Flames. Ahead he goes for Monahan, back for Hudler. Played in for Berchi. Down to Monahan, back for Sven Berchi. Rolling puck, trying to center it. Bouillon steps into him. Now Hudler battling down low. And chipped back down to the Calgary zone as Brody goes back, and that's icing against Montreal. So PK Subban, the reigning Norris Trophy winner, is the NHL's top defenseman. He won that award by getting one more first place vote than Ryan Suter of the Minnesota Wild. 7 of 11 were scored in the power play. 38 points in 42 games. He's a restricted free agent coming up next summer, so back up the truck.
That was what the 2-year bridge deal was about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Prove your worth. The Norris Trophy will probably not hurt that. His game so matured last year. The boldness stayed and the risk left.
Now Glenn Cross with it on Markov, who swats that away up to Briere. 24-15 of the shots on goal in favor of Montreal. Pacioretty steps around Russell. Max Pacioretty backhands it in front, tipped wide by Briere. Now Markov down low to Briere. Sends it back for Desharnais, couldn't get a shot away. And Street picks up the loose puck. And Street bounces that down to Price, who knocks that to the corner. And here's Markov with it. Long lead pass by Diaz for Galchenyuk. Across the line, Backlund stripped him of the puck. Now kept alive by Eller for Galchenyuk. Bounce the pass off Brody. Final second of the second period. Briere digging for it, picked up by Backlund. And Michael Backlund lifts out of center ice as Bouillon is back for it. TJ Gagliardi at the horn, can't get a shot away. And Calgary will go to the dressing room with a 3-1 lead through 40 minutes of play. As we said, you were our second intermission with James Duthie and the panel.
A pretty interesting one that started to develop in the midst of the game is Sven Berchi and PK Subban, who have run together a couple times now. Subban, of course, is an established player, young player, but established. Berchi trying to show some fight and then he's developing into an everyday NHL player. And so they've come together a couple of times. They get the sticks up one time right in front of me there as I'm backing up in a hurry. But I like the fight that Baertschi's shown here. He was kicked in the shins in the preseason by Brian Burke, and he's played much better in the 4 games to the start of the regular season. He scored in the first, and then Subban's rocket on the power play makes the game 3-1. It'll be interesting to see as Baertschi's career continues to evolve. His development of puck possession and strength over the puck is going to be paramount to him realizing his offensive talent. The ceiling on him is high, but he's got to get a little stronger so when he has the puck, he can hang on to it longer.
He scored 3 goals in his first 4 NHL games and 3 in the next 24. So the teams begin the third period at even strength. And Subban, who lit a fire to the Canadians and had some interesting comments between periods to Ryan Rishaug about a sloppy practice yesterday carrying over. David Jones tries to chip that ahead. It's the linesman in the skate. And now Markov back on it. And he goes to Gallagher. Brendan Gallagher works in, shoots, fan on the shot. Giordano might have got a piece of that. Now loose in front. McDonald the save, and Gallagher had the rebound squared away from him. Calgary breaks out 3-on-2. TJ Brodie across for Backlund, back in front for Brodie, and that puck bounced away from him. Backlund wrestling there with Desharnais, and play continues. The puck bounces down to the Calgary zone, and icing is called.
Well, Backlund having a discussion with Dan O'Halloran, he thought that should have been a penalty behind the play. O'Halloran has a quick word, and
that's the end of that.
That would be the end of the argument.
You can't do that. That's all you got to say there is you can't do that. The Mike Lego gift to the hockey lexicon. You can't do that. There's a chance on a turnover. Pacioretty turned away by McDonald.
It's like the old NFL official that said that's 15 yards for giving him the business.
I think it was Red Cashin. Here's Russell with it. Sends that rink wide. And back is Jared Denordi for it. To Bouillon. Calgary trying to put some pressure on the Canadians here in the period and not back off as they did in Washington and against Vancouver on Sunday.
This is the type of game here where I'm interested to see if Daniel Briere can make an impact 5-on-5. He's had a real quiet night. This line has to make something happen for Montreal. They've been pretty silent for most of the evening.
Now Russell centers that puck. Monahan sends it back in front, and Baertschi tapped it wide. Price might have got a piece. Here's Brodie with it. TJ Brodie sends it across to Giordano with a drive. Saved by Price on the other side. Oh, great pad save by Price on Baertschi. So 2 good chances in tight for the Flames. And now Brodie brings it back. Up ahead for Stempniak. Drops it back for Giordano. Long shot. He whistled that just wide. Now Stempniak trying to step into it. Here's Monahan back to Stempniak. To Monahan walking in, shoots. Price the save. Bouncing puck in front. And gathered up by Bourque to Buchanan.
The Canadians are missing Alexei Emelin, who won't be back into the new year, and Douglas Murray, who's still out another couple of weeks, and their defensive zone's far too soft.
David Jones with a shot off the stick of Markov and wide.
There's just too much room down there, Gord. Calgary's moved the puck off the wall to a scoring spot too easily in this third period, as well as they had done in the first period.
Now Lance Beaumont wraps that around. Joe Colburn plays it across. Again, the 4th line out for Calgary. And Ryan White goes rink wide for Bouillon. The pass too far for him. O'Brien ahead to McGrath. And now Ryan White checks the rearview mirror as McGrath was closing on him, and then in front of him, Beaumont stepped into him. Bouillon slides out ahead, and O'Brien picks it up as both teams change. 3.5 gone here in the third period. Calgary leading 3-1. Long shot down on Price, handles that, and Subban lifts that high in the air and up to center ice. Montreal will be in Edmonton tomorrow night, Vancouver on Saturday. Homecoming for Brendan Gallagher and for Carey Price, playing in the NHL city close to his home of Anaheim Lake, BC. In comes Lars Eller across the line, drops it off to Gallagher, tees it up and just cued that wide of the goal. And Brody back with it for Calgary. TJ Brody leads the rush for the Flames, drops it up for Gagliardi. Across he goes and hammered wide by Hoodler. And things opening up here in the third period as Eller jumps in across the line. 4 Flames converge on him as he pokes it down to the corner. Diaz to Markov. Off to Rafael Diaz. Shots are 24-18 in Montreal's favor. Weidman back for it. Across he goes to Russell through the middle for Street. His pass intercepted by Desharnais. Bounces off Weidman who brings it ahead for Glencross. Curtis Glencross drops back for the trailer. Jones with a shot off the stick of Pacioretty. Up and out of play.
You never know when the save a goaltender makes might keep you in and give you a chance to win. Look at this stop here by Carey Price. Deflection off the end boards and Price sprawls out to get his right leg on the effort here by Berchi. Gets the right pad on it, it bounces across and hits the left pad. Desperation move by Carey Price as the Flames had several good chances on that shift.
Street wins the draw back for Russell. Weidman goes rink wide, intercepted by Plekanec, who looks ahead for Prust. Brandon Prust. That shot just wide of the goal. Plekanec now spins and shoots. That goes wide, so this is Prust with Plekanec and Gionta. Bourque normally the left winger on this line as Glencross comes in. His long shot drifts wide. Now Tenori loses the puck to Glencross, and Price has to play that away from him. Monahan sends it back in front. Glencross tips that right on goal, and Price has to make a quick reflex save.
That puck was in full Canadiens possession. 5 seconds later, Glencross is alone in front of the net.
And now Monahan a long shot, and Price will hang on to that. Well, the Thanksgiving Classic kicks off this weekend with Wendy's Friday Night Football. The Lions are in Calgary take on the Stampeders at McMahon Stadium. Live coverage underway at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, right here on TSN. Here in attendance tonight is Stampeders coach John Hufnagel, head coach and general manager. In case the name tag didn't give it away. Don't think he really needs one here. Berchi back to Butler for Stempniak through the traffic, and Price makes a pad save with Berchi standing right in the doorstep. Here's Monahan with the steal. Berchi flips it back to Stempniak, in and shoots, and that's off a stick, up and out of play. So here's John Hufnagel's reaction earlier to the goal by Curtis Glencross. He is he and Patrick Waugh, by the way, Ray, have an ear-splitting whistle.
You know, I've heard Waughs. You can hear that just about everywhere.
Hufnagel puts the 2 fingers there and can bust a wine glass. Waughs is unbelievable. Bourque in across the line now with Moen and White. Randy Bourque with a sharp angle shot, stopped by McDonald. Now here's Moen back on it. Sent back through everyone and out to center ice. So Bourque now on the 4th line with Moen and White. As Prust gets some time with Plekanec and Gionta. And Monahan scoops up a loose puck for Calgary. Pass intercepted by White. And Moen brings it ahead. Now Bourque back with it. Long shot, just that high and wide. 2 defensive zone turnovers with the Flames undoing in the 3rd period against Vancouver on Sunday night. Subban brings it ahead. Montreal in the midst of a change as Subban fights off Gagliardi. Goes after his own shoot-in, gets an arm on Butler. This is going to be a penalty, I believe, against Subban. And Markov touches up, and PK Subban is going to get it for the hole. Doesn't like it one bit. Calgary to the power play when we come back.
Trying to do too much on his own as PK Subban as he rushes the puck up the ice. He thought this was a penalty here from the slash on Gagliardi, but here is the penalty as he wraps up Chris Butler. And as he went to the penalty box, you can see him in animated discussion with Kyle Raymond as he's trying to show him he thought the slash was the penalty. Nonetheless, the Flames have a chance to stretch this lead out again. Glenn Cross had the last power play goal for the Flames.
Jones will take the offensive zone face-off. Hudler and Glenn Cross, the other forwards. Weidman and Brody on the back end. A rolling puck back to Brody. Across to Weidman. Back to Brody to Weidman. Being shadowed there by Prust. And Brody down to Hudler. Yuri Hudler winds his way in, has time, drops it down to Glenn Cross. Back to Hudler. Jones in the high slot. Hudler goes back instead to Brody. To Hudler, again open, walks in, waits, shoots, that's blocked by Markov and cleared by Plekanec. And Hudler back with it, trying to feather that pass in for Jones, knocked down by Eller, but not out. Here's Jones back with it. Hard pass back to Brody, across he goes to Weidman. Down to Glenn Cross. In for Hudler, the pass hit the official Raymond, and the Canadians are able to clear. Stempniak, Berchi and Monahan out up front for the Flames on the power play. And Stempniak looking for Monahan, but Diaz sends it down the ice. And Joey McDonald out to play it away from Moen. Giordano, rink wide, he goes for Stempniak. Settles the puck down, looks ahead for Giordano. Knocked away from Diaz by Monahan. Plays onside as Stempniak banks it off the glass, but it goes up and out of play. The faceoff will be in the Montreal zone.
Nothing going for the Flames on this power play. That first group had in-zone possession, yet they were real stationary, and it makes it pretty easy for the penalty killers to stay in front of them. Hudler will go back out here, and he'll join Monahan and Stempniak for the last 38 seconds of this power play.
Monahan lost 7 of 9 faceoffs through 2 periods. Out against Plekanec.
Well, he's in game 4, and he's taking a draw here against the guy in game 601. You learn to be better at the draw, but he gets nice help there from Stempniak.
Russell across to Giordano. Plays it down to Hudler. Now in front for Stempniak, a drive. Price, a great save there. And Stempniak was alone in the high slot. 20 seconds to go in the Calgary power play. Prust steps into Giordano. And Russell picks it out for Calgary. Works it ahead for Stempniak. Gets his own pass back. Drops it off to Monahan. Looking back for Stempniak. Way up in the air. Price will glove that. And hang on with 5 seconds to go in the Subban penalty.
You hear coaches all the time talking about details and small items that help the game. Well, if the detail's not here from Stempniak, which is helping win the faceoff, 5 seconds later, he's not standing in the slot and getting this one-time chance on Carey Price. Small thing, but a detail and the finer point that the coach always hammers home to the team is on display as Stempniak helps out on the draw, and then gets an excellent scoring chance.
Now it's Backlund against White. Backlund wins the draw back to Russell. Across the top, Russell, a wrist shot goes wide. Now Price on it as Backlund was looking for the loose puck. Pacioretty swats that ever Subban out of the box for Montreal. And PK Subban got spun around there by Gagliardi, and Subban's already arguing with the official on that. Long pass by Russell goes off the leg of Diaz. And now a big hit by Bouillon as he sent David Jones flying. Now Desharnais back for Diaz. He got spun around by Backlund. And Briere trying to flip that ahead. Gagliardi got in the way. Pacioretty lost the puck to Stempniak. Weidman flips that by Desharnais. And Stempniak up for Backlund. Now Price leaves it there for Subban to Briere. Back to Subban. PK Subban ahead for Galchenyuk. That long shot handled by McDonald. Long rebound cleared away by Brody. The shot from Eller goes well wide of the goal. Glenn Cross trying to chip it out. Street on the second try couldn't get it out, and now Briere has it down in the corner. Now Briere back with it. Loose in the corner is Daniel Briere looking across for Galchenyuk. Street got spun around. Eller with the steal. The puck loose in front. Brody can't find it. Galchenyuk with a chance. And Briere with a little backhand shot goes wide. Now the Flames hemmed in a bit as Subban steps up. He gets dropped down. Eller spins it back for Subban. Walks in, deflects right on goal. McDonald reaches up, makes that save. And now Markov across to Subban. Waits, winds, fires, tipped by Galchenyuk, rebound, score! Lars Eller, and Montreal is back within one.
Excellent in-zone pressure. Daniel Briere is just absolutely on fumes here, coming back to the Montreal bench. He was stuck out at the end of the shift. Gallagher has been waiting to get on the ice, but the point shot misses the net from Subban, and it bounces right to Lars Eller. This is the second goal this year that has been almost identical for Eller. He scored one the other night against Philadelphia on the other side of the net. This time Subban shooting for the deflection for Galchenyuk, who doesn't tip it. It becomes a nice break for Montreal as it hits the boards, bounces to Eller. His 6th point of this young season has pulled the Canadiens to within one.
And 4 goals represent half his total from last season, Ray, when he was a healthy scratch twice in the first week of the season. And now Plekanec with it. Sends it back in front, Russell knocks it down and ahead for Hudler. So again, Ray, the Flames had chances to clear it out and couldn't, and the puck winds up in their net. Wideman, long shot, crawls up Price's arm, loose in front, Price swats that away. 8:40 to go. Flames now up by 1. And you know they've got to start converting more of these leads into 2 points instead of 1. Meantime, Montreal awakes from a bit of a slumber through the first 2 periods. Now a loose puck on the side of the goal, knocked away by Price. And that puck deflected up and out of play. Lars Eller has 4 goals in his first 3 games, and Montreal's back within 1 on Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey.
Tired you get in the defensive zone when the puck doesn't come out of the zone. 3 times the Flames have an opportunity to clear it. There's one with Stempniak. Glenn Cross can't get there quick enough for Subban. And as the play moves around, you're going to see it go to the front of the net. It turns into a little bit of a ping pong ball here. Brody and Stempniak can't get it out. And then watch everybody look to the puck when it misses the net. Nobody finds Lars Eller. And the Canadiens are back in the game.
And Subban, who sparked him with that late power play goal in the second period, fires it at here's Pacioretty along with Desharnais. Pacioretty whistles that high and wide. And now Subban with it. Puck bounces off the leg and out. And now the Canadiens have to tag back up onside. Butler to O'Brien, being watched there by Briere. Shots are 28-24 Montreal. In comes Pacioretty along with Desharnais and Briere. Max Pacioretty winds it. A backhand shot goes through the crease. And now Markov with it. Andre Markov slides it down to Desharnais. In for Pacioretty, shoots. McDonald save. Rebound. Briere in tight. Turned away. Now a chance back in front. Subban hammered that wide. McDonald was down and out. Markov shoots. McDonald has no stick. And Subban reaches, keeps the puck alive. McDonald's stick is in the net. Now Subban sends it down in front. Pacioretty sprawling for it. And McDonald retrieves his stick from behind him. Markov keeps it alive, down for Desharnais. Bumping there with O'Brien. Gagliardi now picks it up for Calgary. He's got Hudler with him. TJ Gagliardi in. Fighting off the check of Pacioretty. And now Pacioretty intercepts. And the Montreal and Calgary fans trying to out-chant each other here in the 3rd period. Diaz snaps it ahead for Galchenyuk. Out there along with Gallagher and Eller. Lars Eller down for Galchenyuk, walks in and fires. McDonald the save, squeezes the short side post and hangs on. And some nervous moments for the Flames in their own zone when their goaltender had no stick.
They're lucky he didn't have a stick because he lost it prior to it by making a couple of fantastic stops. The second one on Briere, and when he dove back, Subban had the whole net. He doesn't get it to the net. It misses the cage. You see McDonald once and twice looked for it. He can't pick his stick up because the pressure never leaves the front of the net. Now finally he gets a chance to scoop it back up. But a bit of a fire drill in the Calgary zone as they've now lost their structure a little bit. You can see some panic creeping in, and this is where it would be nice to have a real veteran centerman in the middle of their lineup. Matt Stajan's their most veteran center with 650 games. They just got 203 combined for their centers in the lineup tonight. Somebody to help settle them down, win a draw, take a little panic out of the next shift or the shift that follows a crazy one like just happened in the Flame zone.
And Camilleri out as well can also take faceoffs. Fired down in the Calgary zone. And Giordano has it. Up ahead for Boma, who chips that down to the Montreal zone. Under 6 to go in the third period. Montreal trailed this game 3-0 in the second. Don't forget, last Thursday, Calgary had a 3-0 and 4-1 lead on Washington before losing in a shootout. Russell spins and plays it off the glass up the center ice and hits Stempniak in the back. Puck had some serious hang time on it. Now Markov looks ahead, but Russell intercepts for Calgary. Weidman's long pass missed Berchi. Now kicked back down to the Flame zone. 31-24, the shots for Montreal. Monahan for Stempniak, who slides that down to the Montreal zone and peels off on a change. Here comes Subban with it. Steps around Gagliardi. PK Subban jumping in 1-on-4. Subban in, shoots, and McDonald makes the save as Subban goes for a 200-foot dash here in Calgary. That's electric player of the game is brought to you by Chevrolet.
In the first period, Joey McDonald was perfect, made 13 straight stops. A lot of them were 1-and-out, but several of them were very difficult stops. As the game's gone on, he's had to be continually sharp with second opportunities around the front of the net. Your electric player of the game in his third straight start is Joey McDonald.
Draw one back to Markov. Subban a shot, and McDonald kicks that away. And since that big closure in the corner, David Jones has not returned for Calgary, still on the bench. As Desharnais centers for Pacioretty, that's broken up by Backlund. Weidman picks his way across the line. Hoover ring wide for Backlund, the pass in behind him. And Subban spins away from Hoodler.
Well, Michel Therrien is all over the officials here. Feels that they've missed a couple of calls late here against the Calgary Flames.
Now Galchenyuk with a drive, and McDonald hangs on to that. Let's go back to the injury to Calgary's David Jones.
See Jones sitting on right to my left on the Calgary bench, and a little earlier in the period he goes into the corner with Francis Bouillon, and Bouillon is a little bulldog of a competitor. He gets underneath the shoulder of Jones, knocks him right on his back, and you see Jones getting some treatment on his upper back and neck. He hasn't been on the ice since that collision.
Frankie Bouillon does that about 12 times a year, Ray. Just catches someone who doesn't think he's going to step into them. And
real good skater, solid.
Galchenyuk a drive, and McDonald another save.
Wow, can that kid get rid of the puck in a hurry? He took no time there to spin around and get it at the net, and McDonald sharp again. That is a big league release.
Eller gets Street in the face-off, wins it cleanly. And Bouillon's long shot drifts wide on the other side of Diaz. Rafael Diaz fires, that's kicked out. Rebound loose in front for Gallagher. The puck's still sitting there. And Glenn Cross goes off the glass, and that'll trickle down the ice and is icing against Calgary. Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Scotiabank. You're richer than you think. Ray Ferraro, Ryan Rashad, Darren Dreger, the TSN production group here on this Wednesday night. 3:54 to go. Calgary leading 3-2 on Montreal. That draw won by Street. Brody trying to squeeze that by Markov, but the Canadians keep it alive. Giunta centers it. And the bouncing puck goes to Boma, who plays it out to the Montreal line. Andre Markov snaps that pass ahead for Plekanec. Gloved down by Giunta. Back in front, Plekanec couldn't reach it. And now Bourque back out there with Buchanan and Gianta. Buchanan sends it back in front, kicked away by Giordano. At the line, kept alive by Markov, down low to Gianta. Shovels that in front, knocked away by Giordano. And the last 5 minutes have been played almost exclusively in the Calgary zone. 35-24, the shots for Montreal. Here come the Canadians again. Galchenyuk with Gallagher. Galchenyuk in, shoots. He whistled that high, short side. And now Hudler with it, along with Backlund. And Hudler lets that softly down to the Montreal zone as Backlund goes in for it. Under 3 to go now in the third. Bouillon for Galchenyuk with Eller and Gallagher. Three Flames collided just inside the line. Berchi got shaken up. In comes Monahan. Berchi's making his way slowly to the bench. Stempniak walks in. What a move by Stempniak. Price down, wraparound try, and Gallagher saved the goal. Back to Giordano. Across to Brodie with a drive. Hit something in front. Stempniak a backhand shot, and Price makes the save on him. This all started with a train wreck in the Calgary zone. And now Brodie with it. Flips that down to the Montreal end. Subban winds his way ahead. For Pacioretty, back to Subban, who jumps into the rush. Tries to shovel that back in front, and Gagliardi has it. High backhand pass, gloved down by Markov, and Briere can't find it. Gagliardi sent flying into the boards as he collided with Briere. And Subban cross-checking Boma as hard as he can, and I think O'Halloran saw it. And PK Subban's going to get a penalty with 1:49 to go in the third period.
76, 2 minutes for cross check.
He got away with the first four, Ray, but not the last one.
Well, on the sideboards, the play is at a dead standstill, and Subban's going to creep up behind Bowman. You're right, here's one, there's two, there's another one, there's another one, and finally Dan O'Halloran's had enough. The puck is 15, 20 feet away here. It's a bad penalty for Subban to take after a brilliant performance in the last 25 minutes of this hockey game. Michel Therrien is staring daggers through the officials. He didn't think that they got any calls earlier in this period. He certainly didn't like that call there, and this is a good timeout for Bob Hartley to take on the Calgary bench. They're on the power play. They want to make sure they move the puck and be sure with it. Don't turn it over and let Montreal make a home run attempt at it.
And Subban still shaking his head in the penalty box.
You just can't give the official the opportunity to make that call. There's no reason to continue on cross-checking Lance Boma. The puck is gone, the play is gone. And now Montreal's short-handed here for the last 1 minute and 49 seconds.
Calgary the win, a shootout loss, and an overtime loss, seeking to pick up points in a fourth consecutive game to open the season. Calgary has New Jersey here on Friday, then hits the road for 5. Street, Hudler, and Glenncross up front in the power play. Wideman and Brodie on the back end. And the face-off, one back to Brodie. To Wideman, a rolling puck, shoots, chance in front, and Street put that just wide. Now back at the point is Brodie. Broken stick out there. And now Hudler. Back to Brodie. Cross to Wideman. Snaps it across to Hudler. Sends it back door for Glenncross. Wideman back to Brodie. In for Hudler. Back to Brodie. The pass skipped away from him, and now Carey Price is making his way to the Montreal bench, but retreats. Now being called to the bench after all. So the extra skater comes on for Montreal. It's Pacioretty, and the Canadiens' net is empty. Hudler for Glenncross. Curtis Glenncross in across the line. Has some time. Poke check by Bouillon. Gallagher picks up the loose puck. Final minute now of the third period. Gallagher turns it over. And Street finds Glenncross. Glenncross shoots. He misses wide. Bouillon back on it. Out to center ice it goes to Giordano. Way up in the air. That's a field goal over the crossbar. Backlund intercepts, sends it back in front for Gagliardi. TJ Gagliardi lays it around. 30 seconds to go now in the third period. Eller along with Pacioretty and Gallagher. Max Pacioretty works in, trying to get around Weidman, and Eller collides with Weidman in the corner. Now Hudler on his backhand, can't get it up. Second try to the line and helped out by Gagliardi, who spins it down to the Montreal zone. 10 seconds to go. Diaz fires it down. Out the other side, Markov jumping on it. Andre Markov with a rolling puck. Glenn Cross on his backhand sends it down and misses wide at the horn. And the Calgary Flames win it 3-2 over the Montreal Canadiens. Outshot 35-25. The Flames make a 3-goal lead, stand up, and win it by a final of 3-2 as Calgary continues to raise eyebrows around the NHL. For all of us at TSN, I'm Gord Miller. This has been a presentation of TSN, Canada's sports leader. Coming up, it's SportsCenter. Let's send you now to Jennifer Hedger.